Okay, how are you?
All right, how are
Morning,
you doing?
everyone. I'm good with you. How are you?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we shall just begin our meeting for today.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So we shall just continue from yesterday's conversation. I think there was a question that Mariama posed at the end of our discussion yesterday. And I just thought that we would just discuss it further and hear from everyone else today what you think. Yeah, so we it was really about how are you guys able to conquer your fears, like in areas where you find yourself afraid, maybe to do something or start something. How are you able to overcome that fear or conquer that fear so that you can be able just to be able to move past fear and um not let it stop you from doing certain things. Yeah, so anyone can feel free. I'm sure we shall all learn from each other some of the tactics that we use to overcome fear.
Yeah, maybe I go first because I think
Sorry.
I'm owing so much. 2 days already. Yeah. Oh, I'm not seeing myself. Is my camera working?
Yeah, we're seeing you. I can see you at least.
Yeah, you can see me. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. I think somewhere else. Okay. Yeah. I think fear is basically comes as a result of something you've not seen, something in the future. And it also, it is, it kind of is caused by things outside yourself. And the best way is some people say that whatever you fear, you confront it. But I think, but on another way is the thing to allow it to go, because fear comes, okay, it is this way. It's a pattern. First of all, you think. Secondly, you feel. And thirdly, you act. So before fear is really implemented, there are those 3 stages. So very first, when the fear comes, then you confront it at that stage. You say, well, it means not really nothing. And it's the same energy that we need for faith. It's only that now with faith, it is giving me what you like, because when you are having faith, then you go and act in the right way. When you have fear, it's the same thing, but you're acting in the other way around. Like, for example, I'm going to lose a job, and then you begin thinking, well, if I lose a job, what will happen? I don't have any I will not have any payment. I will not have any money coming in. And then now you go down that route, which is actually negative. But it will be the same energy, even when you said, well, if this job goes, I will get another one. And then you start writing applications. The other one will put you in a freeze mode, no action, passive, maybe, what can I say? Not even talking to yourself that way. And so I think overcoming, because sometimes some people abbreviated this fear with that's just abbreviation. Fear is what is it? Forgetting? No. Fear is oh dear, it's a very nice mnemonic. If it is fear,
Oh,
yeah,
false evidence
False
appearing.
evidence appearing real. Yes, false evidence appearing real. Yes. Yeah, so I think it's that kind of thing. But however, because we are human beings, that the fear is that aspect should be there, because it tends to make us, it protects us for a short while, because once you get an animal, then the hormones come in, which prepare the body either to fight the animal or to run away. Now we are designed in such a way that those hormones should not stay on for a long time. When they stay on for a long time, then they cause problems for us. Yeah. So on the other hand, it will still be some hormones in if you have got faith, and it propels you on to do the right thing. And then another point is, I feel you cannot really master it. For example, if you are to speak to an audience, there is always, even if you are the best part to someone who speaks so well, in the preparation, there is that nervousness that comes in. And I'm thinking that's one of the things of fear. The only thing is the people who speak eloquently to the public, they will just speak as if the audience is not there. You just go on as if you're speaking to yourself and the audience is not there. Then you have overcome, Yeah. So in short, I think overcoming fear is, as it were, doing that which you are fearing and going against it. And sometimes it's not an easy thing. Maybe even verbalizing it. I'll tell you an example. Last Sunday, it might seem small, but it is really real. I was given a chance to lead at the church, because someone got COVID, and so they could not lead this. And so I led. But then at the end, I mean, it is courteous to give other people who have been involved in the service. For example, there's someone who is playing music, and then others are doing the IT, they are doing the computer, they are doing the sound. Now, I knew the person, I knew the name, I knew them all in the name, I knew the names of the three people who were helping out. So at the end, the person on the sound is a bit newish, but I knew his name. But then I forgot the name. But because I've mentioned the name, the thank you for the one on musical is called Andrew, and thank you for Neil, the one who was on the computer. Now I said, you know what? I know your name, you, the one on the sound, but let me verbalize it. I know that you know, but then I don't want to do it, to kill your name. Please just remind me. I just said around the whole church, and everyone laughed. And then they came in with the names, because I was remembering Alex, but actually it's William. I said, oh yes, William, and the whole thing now, instead of me freezing into myself and say, oh, how would I go? And that just came straight like that, and really I loved it, because I said, okay, this was a fear that now when I don't, how would I now say thank you so much? And I said thank you to the sound guy, as if I don't know his name. So anyhow, because the reason this is coming to me is because I'm with an audience. So I will throw it aloud. So I confronted the fear with with its own might. And eventually it was a laugh off. I got the name, and I will never forget the name, by the way. That's another thing. Yeah, so anyhow, let me just leave it there, and leave others to comment. So I think that would be, I mean, as I gave that example, I think that would be one way to confront fear, and then we go on.
Yeah, thank you so much, James. Thank you so much. Yeah, anyone else want to share how you guys are able to conquer fear?
I want to share a little bit. From my own perspective, based on my own experience, uh, I'm a kind of person that I become afraid easily of like pursuits, or like if I'm given a task to perform, especially if it is impromptu, I tend to like get scared and maybe try to avert the situation or push the situation onto somebody else. But uh, I actually watched a show where they they are like, it was a singing show or a singing competition of like, and the advice one of the judges gave the contestant was use your fear or use your nervousness to actually complete the task. It will help you in any situation or whatever. So I think that helps a lot, that kind of advice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you for sharing. You've actually reminded me that I think some time back there's a book I read called The 50th Law. And in that book, the writer was speaking about how when they're growing up, like in the 80s, that, like there was a lot of like violence and things like that in the area that he grew up in. And so like people would be afraid, of things that were actually like that you had the right to be afraid of, I would say. Like you're afraid of dying, you're afraid of being shot because there's a lot of violence in the area. But he was saying that, as time has evolved, that people are afraid of even things that will not kill you or will not actually do anything to you, but it's just like your mind. Yeah. And some of the things that he was like trying to explain, like two ways that people respond to fear. And in the book, he says that there is like a passive way, like, for example, like what Jessica was saying, when you're afraid of doing something, you always maybe procrastinate it or just altogether avoid it because you're afraid of it. And then he also mentioned another way, which is like the active way, like an active sort of like response to fear, where, when you're afraid of something, like go for it. If you're afraid of something, just go for it. And he was like encouraging people that even in the little things that you're like afraid of, let's say maybe you're somebody who is not so good, let's say around like maybe big crowds and things like that. And he would say, just try, one day go for a meeting and try to speak to people, like little things like that. And as you try to just have that active response to like the little fears that you have, then little by little you'll be able to to learn to overcome your fears. And for me, I feel like that really worked for me, like in like little ways, like things you're afraid of, you just decide to do it, whether you're afraid, because at the end of the day, it's not like it's going to kill you, like what James was saying, that in the end it can even end up becoming like a laughable situation, can end up becoming a good situation, but you were initially afraid of it. Yeah. So for me, I feel like that's something that works, that, for the little things, especially those that will not harm you, just to just actively respond to them and say, you know what, I'm going to do it either way. Yeah. So for me, that really helps. Yeah. So anyone else want to share? Can hear from one last person, either Sitari or Mariama. Yes, Sitari, Mariama, do you guys want to share something?
Yeah, I was just listening and just digesting what everyone else is saying, how they tackle their fears and stuff. I think for me, sometimes um when I fear something, I will use work as an example. Sometimes maybe because I'm lacking a bit of confidence in that area, or knowledge, maybe. So sometimes when I'm not too confident in an area, or my knowledge is not up there, and I'm about to face people that are very knowledgeable in this area and stuff, sometimes that can make me a little bit nervous and fear to actually face these people. So in those situations, I just try to prepare myself more and just, enhance my knowledge. And because I know when I know about something, when I'm very knowledgeable about something, I'm very, very confident, especially when I speak. And I know what I'm saying. People will know that I'm talking about something that I know and I'm knowledgeable on and everything. But so I just try to work on my confidence, and sometimes I just have a little prep talk. I just talk to myself sometimes. It's like, because sometimes I'll be nervous for no reason or just fear for no reason, to be honest, and not because I don't know what I'm doing, or not because I'm not knowledgeable in the area, but because I'm just overthinking everything and overanalyzing everything and just thinking, and that leads to me knocking down my confidence level. So it's just having that prep conversation with myself, like, what do you have to lose? Like, these people are normal people. If you're about to face people, they're normal people. They're not perfect either. So I just have that little conversations with myself sometimes. And sometimes it works. I'm like, you know what, you can do this. Let's do it. And sometimes it works. And I don't know how, but sometimes when I talk to myself and then I just get up and just go for it, and I decide that I'm gonna go for it, I just go for it, regardless of whether I know what I'm doing or not, but at least give it a try. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then it's all okay. I learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mariama. I also believe that actually really works. Yeah, sometimes you just have to speak to yourself, and like, it can really boost your confidence. Yeah. Yes, Atari, would you want to?
Sorry.
No, nothing. Everybody said everything. I have nothing to share. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Just wanted to add just a little bit. Actually, all the time we are talking to ourselves anyway. And so, so basically, self-talk is, we need to manage the self-talk, as Mariama said. And she says they are like me. So she then goes ahead. And the other alternative would be saying, oh, I'm going to be embarrassed. I don't think I can really do this. And when we don't have, I had a situation where there was a friend, I went with him to, I belong to a speaking club. Now I've not attended it for a long time, but I invited a friend to this club. And then when we went in, I told him, it's kind of a breakfast. Actually, it's called SSA Breakfast Club. So when we went in, I told him, this meeting, it's called breakfast, but actually it's about learning how to speak. Something and the self. So I said, when we reach there, actually, they may choose you without telling you. They just, the chair, the one leading just pounces on you and says, okay, can you talk about this topic? So unfortunate for my friend, when I went with him, I just forewarned him. And then when we reached in there, actually, he was one of those that were pounced on. And he literally froze. He could not say anything because he was supposed to say something for 1.5 minutes. And then when he came to the front, he just froze. And that was fear. Yeah. So something, of course, told him, well, you can't say anything. I mean, yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, the self-talk, which is very positive and very encouraging and empowering, that is the one we need to all the time be with, I think. And you never master it, really. It's always that moment. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, James. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you everyone for sharing. Yeah, have a good day, and yeah, thank you so much. And just before you go,